I hate this fucking teleportation machine. I want to go to Hooters. Oh, hey guys, it's Tom's Refurb here.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember that.
You OG, way back Tom's Refurb fans may remember March of 2021, where I purchased a 77 Jeep CJ5 Rat Rod, which was pretty much just a Jeep body on a custom airbagged frame, powered by a small block Chevy and a 4-speed stick. It was painted army green, so I lovingly named it Lieutenant Dan.
But you ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dan.
And it was one of the most dangerous vehicles I had ever piloted. Because this Jeep was such a death trap, I of course drove it just about every single day. I terrorized kids on my college campus with it. I commuted with it everywhere I could possibly go. I went to shows, meets, and pretty much enjoyed it every chance I could get.
Good morning! On my way to the gym in my daily driver.
All that fun ended 3 short months later when I plowed it into the back of a brand new F-150. I was driving behind 2 trucks having road rage with each other, unbeknownst to me. The first guy brake checked the second guy panic stopped, and me, with my gigantic steering wheel and terrible seating position, couldn't hit the brakes in time and crashed right into the back of it. Now my Jeep only had lap belts on it, so I mashed my face off the steering wheel and got this super cool trendy eyebrow scar. So naturally my parents told me I was never allowed to drive that Jeep again, even if I fixed it. Insurance totaled it anyways, so that was the end of Lieutenant Dan forever. Now if you're new around here, you might not know that I suffer from a severe mental disability called looks at Facebook Marketplace. And after 2 years, I struck gold. This is, or was, a 95 Jeep Wrangler at some point, built by Joe King of King Motorsports. This guy dishes out some pretty badass circle track cars, and I was happy enough to buy this project of his off Facebook Marketplace. It's on a custom steel tube chassis with a 4-linked rear. It's powered by a very nasty 355 small block race motor that likes to rev past 7,000 RPMs through open headers. And I tell you what, that's the kind of car Tom likes to drive. Now this motor makes well over 400 horsepower, and it goes through a Muncie 4-speed stick transmission and a 373 positive rear end, so this Jeep is literally 3 times faster than Lieutenant Dan. I've already done a little bit of work to make it my own just so I can drive it as it sits. I started out by welding in this mild steel harness bar with some Simpson 4-point harnesses because originally it had lap belts that were held in with self-tappers. Then I found these very nice tubular half doors that bolted right on. Lastly, the shifter was giving me problems in the car, so I found this really dope NOS 70s Hurst floor shifter that bolted right in the car and shifts great. Stop recording!
Well, Tom, what are you going to do to the car now?
Huh? As it sits, the car runs and drives. The steering really sucks because it has 295 tires on the front, and obviously it does not quite fit the OG Lieutenant Dan vibes. So, before we go out and tear it up, we gotta make it ours. Let's get to work. Whoa! Wouldn't it be funny if I hit your truck?
That'd be a little sad.
So much for the posse.
I just hear ringing.
In your Sorry, I forgot it was loud. I have protection. First things first, we're gonna paint the Jeep. Army green. Now we just gotta disassemble it. Ow! One header. Ooh, header. Wipers, taillights. I gotta fix that wiring. Still got it. World's longest self-tap. Didn't see that. Aww. A bat. Put him right there. Grill. First thing we gotta do to prep this paint is peel off the stickers using this fancy eraser wheel. Time to hit it with the DA. By the way, due to things like this, and the fact that this Jeep is dented all over, we are not going for perfection whatsoever. This is not gonna be a perfect paint job. That's because it's a rat rod. Who gives a shit? The shop is now dedustified. We briefly wiped down the car and cleaned off all the areas we're gonna tape. So now we're gonna mask off everything that's not getting painted, and then we can paint it. Now we're gonna drop the makeshift paint booth sides. Let's get to work. The makeshift paint booth is all set up. Now we're doing a final dry wipe on everything to get the sanding dust off. Now we're doing the final prep wipe with these lint-free blue towels and prep all. Either this, or wax and grease remover, or if you are in a pinch, acetone. You wanna make sure them surfaces is nice and clean. See there's that little bit in there? That can keep your paint from sticking. Last step is use a tack cloth to get any remnants of dust off the paint. Now we're gonna mix up some primer. Getting suited up. There's something about like paint giving you cancer or something. I don't know. I didn't read the instructions very closely.
1 hour later.
Now it's time for an army green satin top coat with the paint master here. Coat number 2. One more coat. The car is painted now. Cleaning off the gun, and tomorrow it's time for reassembly. That's green. Now, like I said at the beginning of the video, the front tires that were on the Jeep are 295s, which are way too wide, especially with manual steering. This thing is impossible to steer and it's all over the road. Oh baby! Now it is a Jeep after all. You need mud tires at least on the front. These bad boys are Ling Long 215 7515. No, I'm not being racist, that's the actual name. I wanted to find a set of front wheels that matched the rears relatively. You see they have 5 holes in them. So I managed to find these 15 by 6 steel wheels that are off of a Kia. But as you can see, they have 5 rectangular holes in them, very similar to the rear. I think they're gonna look pretty good, and they bolt right on. Now, it's time to paint everything that needs to be clean in black. And yes, I'm using Rattle Bomb this time. This includes all of the small miscellaneous rusty parts along with the front frame rails. I'm gonna undercoat the underside of the car. Let's go. Time for reassembly. First goes the grill. Find the hole. Can't forget the horn. Radiator. We get the turn signal lights in that I have tinted black. And of course, to fit the OG Lieutenant Dan vibes, we've got the red halo lights. And installed. Boom! Then for optimal safety, boom! Sadly, the chrome star center caps are the only center caps I could find on the internet that would fit these 5x5.5 wheels. Maybe down the line I'll paint them black, but for now, we'll leave them chrome because they were expensive. Ooh yeah. The last step, matching Lieutenant Dan decals. But this time, it's Lieutenant Dan 2. Campus for fun. Keep up. I set that car alarm off. We have arrived at our destination. Thanks. Fucking up the concert. Sorry. Not sorry. I see we are approaching a red light. Who will be my opponents? Oh, the Ford Ranger. What's that thing got in it?
Oh, it's got a Hemi.
Hemi?
What you got in that thing?
4-cylinder.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no!
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
Oh, he's burning! Did you hear me street racing? There's no way. This thing's a hybrid. It's so quiet. My speedo, of course, shows the worst time to stop working. I think I'm doing something. Turning. Don't follow me. Just over 2,300 pounds. That's actually a lot heavier than I thought. Hey, but look at that though. 2320.
Shoot up before.
Are you ready? Well, I believe that'll be all for this Tom's Refurb special. I'll catch you guys next week. Who